We went digging and found 3 different colors of wild clay. I just unloaded them from the kiln and the craziest thing happened. So in the raw state, I had a white clay, a red clay, and a charcoal clay. I fired them to cone 06 and the charcoal colored clay actually turned off white. I think the charcoal color was coming from carbon-based impurities that burned out during the bisque firing. The red clay turned orange and then the white clay stayed off white. So of course the nerdy science girl in me wants to do some testing. So I decided to test the absorption percentage of each color. So I started off by recording the dry weight of each piece. I'm recording it in grams and unfortunately my balance can only go to the nearest gram. So it's not going to be the most accurate, but it'll at least give me an idea. Then I submerge the pieces completely in water and I let them soak in the water for at least 24 hours. Then I take them out and give them a quick wipe down to get off any residual water droplets hanging out on the outside of the piece. Now I weigh them each again to get a wet weight and then I start crunching numbers. So the absorption percentage is a ratio of how much water the piece has taken on in comparison to the weight of the dry piece. So we take the wet weight and then subtract the dry weight from it. This will give us the weight of the water that has been absorbed. Then we divide it by the initial dry weight of the piece and multiply by 100 to get the percentage. The absorption percentage indicates the durability of the piece. The higher the absorption percentage, the more water the piece can take on. Absorbed water can weaken the clay body, especially in cases where the water freezes and expands. It can cause the piece to crack. So after calculating all of the absorption percentages, the results are in. The white clay came in at 21%, the red clay at 29%, and charcoal at 24%. These are pretty high absorption percentages, which is to be expected because I only fired the clay to cone 06, which is a relatively low temperature. The next step in my plan is to fire to cone 5. This is a higher firing temperature, so I'm expecting a lower absorption percentage, but I'm also running the risk of the pieces melting when they're fired to a higher temperature. So we'll see how it goes.